welcome to another edition of Coming Soon. I am Mark. I am going to tell you about some releases that are coming up. I just received them in the mail mere hours ago, and these are physical media Blu-rays, 4K discs that will be hitting shelves mid to late October 2023. So I have not even looked at these yet. I don't even know what the titles are, but I will tell you what the specs are. I'll let you take a look at the packaging, and if you look at the text description below, there will be, you have to excuse me, I'm in the middle of a cold right now, and the more I talk with this stuffed up nose, the less oxygen that gets to the brain, and the less coherent I become. So it may actually make this one more fun than normal. If you look in the text below this video, I will have basic descriptions for each of these titles, release date, releasing company, and Amazon links where you can go and check out the full specs or pre-order or order or whatever you may see fit. So first on the pile, this is one that I'm very excited about. I've never owned any of these on physical media, but they're movies that I really like. This is a special 2-disc Blu-ray edition from Synapse Films of Tombs of the Blind Dead. This is, do you know the Blind Dead movies? Series of Spanish horror films about the Templar Knights and the idea that these Templar Knights from way back long ago have risen from the dead, and they seek out silently on horseback these dried out husks of these former knights. It's basically like a zombie movie, Spanish zombie movie. These knights come out to eradicate people for whatever reason they see fit, really. So they're cool, very atmospheric Spanish horror films. So what do we have? Armando de Osorio, who's a great Spanish director of 70s horror schlock. And I say that with the tenderest meaning of that word. I like Osorio stuff quite a bit. If you've never seen People Who Own the Dark, that's a really good one to check out. Armando de Osorio's unique 1971 Spanish shocker Tombs of the Blind Dead was an international horror hit that spawned 3 sequels and countless imitations. The first of 4 official films in the series, it begins with a trio of friends getting together for a camping trip that quickly turns into a blood-curdling horror as a legion of long-dead Knights Templar rise from their graves in search of human flesh! When the Templars are originally executed for their cannibalistic rituals, they were hanged outside to die as crows pecked out their eyes. Now armed with ancient swords and riding their skeletal undead horses into the night looking for prey these mummified creatures cannot see, they hunt purely by sound alone, which leads to some very creepy scenes where people are trying to be very quiet as these things are very close to them. Presented in a beautiful new restoration from the uncut original camera negative, Tombs of the Blind Dead is one of the most extraordinary and influential Spanish horror films ever made. Pardon the mumbles. So now I'm going to read to you what's on this thing. Disc 1, original Spanish language and English/Spanish hybrid soundtrack versions. You get an HD Blu-ray presentation of the original uncut version, lossless Spanish PCM 2.0 mono soundtrack, lossless hybrid English-Spanish 2.0 PCM soundtrack, optional English subtitles for the Spanish track, optional English subtitles for Spanish sections of the hybrid soundtrack. The hybrid soundtrack is where it's the uncut version of the film, but because the film was cut in English language territories, they never bothered to dub scenes they weren't going to include. So the way you get an uncut version with mostly English is that you just have to revert to Spanish occasionally with subtitles. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard wow. Enjoy this because I'm not always this mush-mouthed. The deaf and hard of hearing. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing for the hybrid soundtrack. Audio commentary with horror film historian and author Troy Howarth, who's always good. Audio commentary with star Lane Fleming. Audio commentary with Rod Barrett and Troy Gunn of the NashiCast podcast. Marauders from the Mediterranean, a feature-length documentary exploring the history of the Spanish zombie film, featuring interviews with Night of the Living Dead writer-producer John Russo. Sitges. I've never knew how to pronounce that. I've only ever read it. Film Festival Deputy Director Mike Hotsench. I'm so sorry. Film critic John Martin. Academic Callum Waddell. The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue Director Jorge Grau. Another great film. Tombs of the Blind Dead star Lone Fleming. Actors Helga Linné. Wow, she's great. Manuel de Blas. Antonio Mayans and Jack Taylor. Stalwart in these films, Jack Taylor. Paul Nash's son, Sergio Molina, author, film critic Kim Newman, and academic writer Steve Jones. Revenge of Planet Ape. This is great. Alternate U.S. opening sequence. So I'll talk about this more in the review, but hey, we're all friends, right? So when this was one of the companies that released this film in the glorious old drive-in grindhouse era of the 70s, decided to capitalize on the success of the Planet of the Apes films, and they retitled this Revenge of Planet Ape. It's the exact same movie, except there is a little title crawl at the beginning, which is included here, and basically says, a race of apes died long ago and now they're coming back to seek their revenge. They're basically insinuating that the Templar Knights that you see in this film are apes, and they're not, but it's just wonderful hucksterism, I think. Awakening of Spanish Horror Cinema featurette, Salem's Pop Templars Tears music video, original theatrical trailer, and still gallery. That's all on disc 1. Disc 2, the Blind Dead US theatrical version. That is an HD presentation of the re-edited US theatrical cut of the film. Lossless English PCM 2.0 mono soundtrack, optional English subtitles. This is an all region or all zone disc, so this disc will play anywhere in the world that you throw it in if you want to import it to wherever you happen to live. The film is presented in 166. The print is so fine. It's fine. And it is from 1971. It is either 101 minutes uncut or 83 minutes cut. And yes, as it says, it's 166. So for those of you who like the sound of crinkling wrappers, there's a little something for you. So front cover, as we've seen, back cover, just text. We crack it open, and there is a nice Synapse Films 2023 product catalog, pretty thick too. Nobody does catalogs anymore. It's kind of cool that they still tuck these in. And then we see, for better composition, I will correct this, 2 different sets of artwork for this, for the disc 1 and disc 2. And this is a regular Blu-ray, not a 4K. These had previously been released on tape by Anchor Bay, on DVD in this cool coffin set by, I think, Anchor Bay. I believe Blue Underground had a set of these out, and now Synapse is taking their turn. And Synapse, if you know Synapse, they do it right. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. And now, from another company that is one to watch, a rising star in the retro cult horror Blu-ray world, this is Film Masters. Film Masters we've talked about before. They are dedicated to taking films that are in the public domain that haven't really seen a lot of love and doing, from as close to the original masters, from as close to the original materials as possible, restorations of these films with extras. So these are the films that I always say they haunted the bargain bins all of our lives. These were the movies, like the ones we're about to talk about, films that slipped into the public domain, which meant they were no longer in copyright, and anybody who could get a copy in any form could release it, and companies would do that. So these were the ones that you always saw, Good Times Home Video putting out. You always saw them dirt cheap on videotape, dirt cheap on DVD, dirt cheap on Blu-ray. Film Masters is doing them right. So these are the copies, thus far from what I've seen from Film Masters, these are the copies that you want to replace all the cruddy copies you had, unless you have some kind of an attachment to how bad those things look, and I do understand that. Newly restored 4K scan from 35mm archival materials. Double feature. We have Beast from Haunted Cave Special Edition and a bonus HD print of Ski Troop Attack, Roger Corman film. So this is, again, we're getting these are titles that I used to do a horror host show. It's called Saturday Fright Special. If you look around, it's still playing here and there. And when you're a horror host, a modern horror host, if you're not a Svengoolie or an Elvira, you're really just working with public domain or indie films, things that you don't have to pay for, things that you're okay to use. So we ran our way through all of these. We never ran Ski Troop Attack, but if we did another season, we were going to do Ski Troop Attack. And Beast from Haunted Cave we did do. So from the back of the box, acclaimed as the king of low-budget movies, Roger Corman produced dozens of films that were both hilarious and thrilling. Among the best of his early output is Beast from Haunted Cave, 1959, directed by cult favorite Monty Hellman, so Corman didn't direct it. Two-Lane Blacktop Cockfighter, which is a fine film. Beast from Haunted Cave is a suspenseful tale of gangsters being terrorized by a blood-sucking, spider-like thing. Upon wrapping Beast from Haunted Cave, Corman directed Ski Troop Attack in 1960. World War II drama used the same South Dakota location and much of the same cast and crew. For Corman, economy was key. Brilliant man. Complete with 2 companion essays. Bantering with a Beast, written by Tom Weaver. Corman Goes to War, written by C. Courtney Joyner. What's inside? It asks the question on the back. And I'll answer it for you, reading from this back. Disc 1, Beast from Haunted Cave, presented in its original 65-minute format and extended 72-minute TV version. I used to love those. I would see these in syndication where the film would start and it would be a scene from like the middle of the movie. And then all of a sudden, or an opening crawl with titles, and then all of a sudden, the opening title of the film would come up as it was supposed to, and then the film would play out in full. So essentially, you were seeing a bit of the movie pulled out of the middle, stuck at the front, which you would then see again within the context of the movie. It always seemed weird to me, but it was done to expand films out to like a 90-minute TV running time. So it's cool that those are both on here. Original 35mm restored theatrical trailer for Beast from Haunted Cave and a new 2023 trailer recut from restored film elements. Commentary for Beast from Haunted Cave by author and film historian Tom Weaver, and filmmaker Larry Blameyer, who did Last Skeleton of Cadavra, and gallery of stills taken during the filming of Beast from Haunted Cave, courtesy of Tom Weaver. Disc 2, bonus HD print of Ski Troop Attack. This is presented 4x3. Commentary for Ski Troop Attack by author C. Courtney Joyner and filmmaker Howard S. Berger. Hollywood Intrudes, the film group story, part 1, a Ballyhoo Motion Pictures documentary. They're great. They do a lot of docs on all kinds of cult and vintage horror stuff. And Film Group was this company that Corman had, I think with his brother Gene, that produced a lot of these kind of films that didn't go to American International, which is where Corman was mostly known for working. A 2023 Ski Troop Attack Ski Poop. Some people might have called this movie that when they first saw it. I don't know. A 2023 Ski Troop Attack trailer recut from restored film elements. 1959, 65 and 72 minutes for the main feature. Unrated, but it's more or less a G. 185 aspect ratio and 133. Both films are black and white. It's presented with closed captions. And it is once again a region A, B, and C, meaning anywhere within the sound of my voice in this whole world of ours, you could buy this, throw it in, and watch it. So once again, for people who like the sound of crinkling wrappers, little bonus crinkling for you there. We have the inside. So I showed you the front. I'll show you the back. Classy and simple, like me. And then on the inside, ooh, that's nice. So we have the booklet and the Ski Troop Attack disc art. Take the booklet out, we get the Beast from Haunted Cave disc art, and then it's once again, like with the Killer Shrews and whatever the one was with the Killer Shrews, I can't remember now. Giant Gila Monster, it's a pretty substantial booklet. That's, again, I never know if you can tell, but that's a pretty thick booklet with a lot of illustrations, and it's not just content that carries over from the supplements on the disc, so I love that. So that is coming soon. As I say, check the information below this video for exactly when. Now we have 2 releases from a new company to me. This is Visual Vengeance. They seem to be putting out a lot of, let's say, modern era, which I want to say like mid to late 90s to early to mid 2000s, independent horror and cult stuff. We have LYCAN Colony, Leave Them Alone, which could be a description for The Howling, if you haven't seen The Howling. So, oh wow, this is really funny. Okay, this is all hitting me for the first time here. Best of the Worst says fascinating on almost every level. Ooh, it includes a full Riff Tracks version of the movie, too. Riff Tracks, if you don't know, are people who used to be part of Mystery Science Theater 3000 who started doing this thing online where they would riff or, audio-wise make fun of movies, but they would just give them to you as audio files that would show, which would allow them to riff anything so they didn't have to get the rights to it. Then they started hooking up with distributors and having their stuff put out on disc and put out on video and all that. So it's really cool that that's on there. So I'm going to, excuse me, as I said, I am in the midst of some kind of a sickness. Anyway. Delirious. Welcome to New Hampshire. Live free or die. Okay, that's where I was born and lived the first 40-something years of my life, so that's kind of funny. I'm now curious if this was actually shot there. A disgraced alcoholic surgeon moves with his family to a small town in New Hampshire. Unbeknownst to them, the entire town is populated with werewolves, some good and others very evil. They soon find themselves thrust into an ancient, mystical battle between the wolf packs that will change their family forever. F-U-R-E-V-E-R. Love it. An astoundingly ambitious and riveting example of pure outsider cinema, LYCAN Colony's reputation is well earned as every bizarre creative decision unfolds and you are dropped into its metaphysical alternate reality. LYCAN Colony, my brain is reading this as LYCAN Cowboy, which would be a fine film. Good follow-up, actually. LYCAN Colony now enjoys its first-time ever Blu-ray, and it's packed with bonus features. Yeah, if you heard it, I'm not going to repeat it. Bonus features, including the full Riff Tracks version and a brand new interview with producer, director Rob Roy. Special features include the aforementioned commentary with director Rob Roy, commentary with Sam Panico of BNS About Movies, and Bill Van Ryn of Drive-In Asylum, who's great. New 2022 interview with director Rob Roy, full Riff Tracks version of LYCAN Colony, blooper reel, LYCAN Colony music video, original trailer, Visual Vengeance trailer, 4-page liner notes essay by Sam Panico. Sorry if I mispronounced that or put the wrong emphasis on the syllables. collectible folded mini posters, stick your own VHS sticker set, reversible Blu-ray sleeve, and optional English subtitles. This film is from 2006, Wild Eye releasing, 90 minutes in English, stereo, full screen 133, interestingly, and it is unrated, and once again, this is region A, B, and C, so it will play anywhere in the world. So we have a slipcase that once again slips and reveals different artwork, different pretty cool artwork actually, with Visual Vengeance, and then sort of a marginally different color scheme on the back. And then we open it up. Oh wow! Oh, this is really cool. Visual Vengeance, I've actually not watched anything they've given me to review yet, but I'm so impressed by the packaging. So you crack it open and you've got the disc, and then you have a LYCAN Colony New Hampshire Forest Scent. There we are. New Hampshire's Forest Scent Car Air Freshener. Now I'm from New Hampshire, so I'm gonna put this one to the sniff test when I open it up. We have the do-it-yourself video store style stickers, which are a nice impact effect. You have the Vegan Colony. Wowzers! I should always do these. I should just wait till I'm sick to do all these. They're so much more fun. The LYCAN Colony 4-page liner notes. You get the fold-out poster. I like getting stuff. You get the fold-out poster there, which is very cool. And then you get a reversible cover with alternate artwork. So that's cool. Very much appreciate this from Visual Vengeance. Coming soon, as they say. Also, oh, if that was all it was. Also from Visual Vengeance, we get Vampires and Other Stereotypes. With that almost reminds me of Bernie Casey from Gargoyles there. I know nothing about this, so let's find out together. In the tradition of Evil Dead 2, says World of Fandom magazine, the gates of hell have been opened again. A pair of paranormal investigators are making their nightly rounds of the seedy streets of New York City, where they encounter a group of party-hopping girls looking for a warehouse rave. Don't pick the one from Blade. Who have also just accidentally opened a portal to hell. What follows is a night of practical effects monster mayhem as the group try to save themselves and the entire planet from a demonic invasion. The first feature from prolific 1990s shot-on-video writer, producer, and director Kevin J. Lindenmuth, Vampires and Other Stereotypes delivers creatures and characters that perfectly represent the offbeat genre movies that the video store era brought forth. Or fifth. Sometimes seventh. Special features, archival 1994 SD master from original 1-inch tape, commentary with director Kevin Lindenmuth, or Muth, commentary by actor Mick McCleary and director Kevin Lindenmuth, commentary with Tony Strauss of Wang's Chop magazine, good magazine, director Kevin Lindenmuth, interview actress Laura McLaughlin, interview actor Mick McCleary, interview actress Suzanne Turner, interview actress Sally Narkis, interview makeup effects Rallis Khan, interview special effects artist Scott Slinger, interview photographer Song Pak, interview publicist Joe Masuri, interview. I'm guessing very few people were interviewed for this. Behind the scenes image gallery, Kendon Lindemuth, early Super 8 films. That's cool. Early Super 8 films with director commentary, even cooler. Original trailer, Visual Vengeance trailers, 6-page liner notes by Tony Strauss of Wang's Chop magazine, stick your own VHS sticker set. Ooh, we get more of those. Collectible folded mini poster, reversible sleeve featuring original VHS art and optional English subtitles. There is a technical disclaimer, which I will read now to you, should the fine print be too small on the copy you ultimately purchase. We have created the following Blu-ray using the best source materials available, which includes SD tape masters. Please be advised plus tax, that audio and video quality presented is the result of the original source material. That's the thing people need to remember. A lot of times people say, oh, I wish this old TV show that was shot on videotape in the 70s or 60s or early 80s would come out on Blu-ray. And I always want to say, it can, but it's not going to look any better than it did back then. You can upscale it and you can do some fanciness to it, but standard def is standard def. So this was from 1994, in color, 87 minutes, English, stereo, full screen 133, that's square like the old TVs, and unrated. Once again, this is region A, B, and C, so it will play anywhere. The slipcase, sing along if you know the words, slips off to reveal very cool alternate artwork here, and slightly different color scheme on the back, a little more pizzazzy, or Pazuzu if you will. Inside we have disc art that matches the slipcase, the video store stickers, which are actually different. One of them says kick ass. I wish I had a video store where one of the categories was just kick ass. These are different video store sticker. You probably can't see them here, but they're different designs than were on the last disc we looked at. We have the booklet. We have, let's just take a look quick here, the original video store artwork. And then we have, so the booklet is some photos, some words. It's not too huge, but small print, so a lot to see there. And then we have the poster, the collectible mini poster, which replicates the inner sleeve or the front in box, not slipcase artwork, which is a pretty cool poster. So what I have left, I don't have anything pretty to look at, but I can tell you a little bit about them. I have notes. So I'll show you what I get, in case you ever want to know. What I get from Arrow, and I love Arrow. Arrow is my criterion. I'm a huge fan of Arrow Video. The review discs I get are check discs, so they look like this. So I don't get the packaging. I don't get anything fancy. I don't get the booklets. What I get is just basically, it's exactly what's on the release copy. So when I pop it in my player, I'm getting everything you would get if you bought it full price, but I don't get any of the fancy stuff with these. So don't think it's all graft and swag and eating chocolate in a hot tub for the life of a reviewer. We have the Iron Fisted Monk. I love that it's a Sammo Hung film. I love that so much classic 70s, 80s, 90s Hong Kong martial arts material is getting just exploding on the marketplace now. Arrow is putting out Shawscope sets that contain tons of film. They're putting out all these individual titles. 88 Films is cranking them out. And I'm just talking about what's getting released here. Shout Factory is cranking out Shaw Brothers box set after box set. I've never been alive in a time where you could get so much good martial arts content with such high quality, so so accessibly. And if you want to look at Imprint, and you want to look at Eureka, and you want to look at these other companies, maybe it's Eureka, not Imprint, in England that are putting stuff out, boy, you could go broker fast. So Sammo Hung plays Husker, a young civilian who is taken in and trained by Shaolin monks after his uncle was killed by the Manchus. I'm not going to go too far into this. Let me tell you what the extras are on the version that I don't currently have in front of me. Illustrated booklet featuring new writing by Brandon Bentley, original theatrical trailer, reversible sleeve with original and newly commissioned artwork by Gary Mills, double-sided fold-out poster with new and originally commissioned artwork by Gary Mills, archival interview with Casanova Wong, 2 archival interviews with Sammo Hung, audio commentary by martial arts expert Frank Zheng, who's on most of these, optional English subtitles, original lossless Cantonese and Mandarin, mono audio plus English dub mono option. So if you're like me, a lot of times, these were all shot without sync sound anyway. A lot of times I don't mind watching them with the English dub because that's just what I remember seeing as a kid. It depends on my mood. I mean, I love original language because that's the original, but it wasn't even, I want to say the original performance. The performance you see on screen weren't always the ones who were dubbing them, but it does feel a little bit more authentic with that. Certainly if it's sync sound, I always want to go with subtitles. 2 choices of English dubbed audio. The original export dub mono for the first time ever in the US, and the newer 5.1 dub created for the international DVD presentations. I don't like those as much because to my ear they always tend to have like somebody who's 20 doing all the voices, and it never just quite sounds natural. HD presentation of the original uncensored version, 2K restoration for the original film elements by Fortune Star. This comes out, I can tell you this because I've got it right in front of me, this comes out on October 24th. So that's going to be fun. If it's a Sammo Hung movie, you know it's going to have really cool martial arts, and it's going to be really good martial arts, good fight choreography, and funny. He usually weaves in some really good humor into it. So now we have, again, I don't know why I hold it up because there's nothing really to see there, The Desperate Hours. This is a classic 1955 noir-y thriller with Humphrey Bogart that is coming to Blu-ray from Arrow. Arrow is really interesting because they don't always just do, initially they were really just known for horror, like really pushing like 80s, 70s, 80s horror, but they've expanded now to do occasional studio films, and I love it because, as I always say, if Arrow puts it out, that's probably the last version you're ever going to need, unless they do a 4K, in which case that's probably the last version you're ever going to need, unless you don't think you need 4K, in which that previous Blu-ray version is probably the last version you're ever going to need. So bonus materials, The Desperate Hours. Okay, quick little blurb here. 3 escaped convicts invade the home of a suburban family in the classic 1955 thriller starring Humphrey Bogart, based on the novel by Joseph Hayes. This was remade in the late 80s, early 90s with Mickey Rourke. I want to say like Michael Mann or somebody notable did it. And I've seen that version, but I don't remember much about it. Bonus materials, illustrated I was going to say cookbook. Booklet featuring new writing on the film by Philip Kemp and Neil Sinyard. Reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Jennifer Dioncio. Lobby cards gallery scaled down and ratcheted up. Brand new audio interview with Catherine Weiler, daughter of director William Wyler. The Lonely Man, brand new essay by Eloise Ross, co-curator of the Melbourne Cinematheque. Trouble in Suburbia, brand new appreciation of the film by Jose Arroyo, associate professor in film and television studies at the University of Warwick. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing on all films. Brand new audio commentary by film historian Daniel Kramer. Original restored lossless mono audio. Brand new restoration by Arrow Films from a 6K scan of the original VistaVision negative. VistaVision was really cool. It was I think it was Paramount's answer to CinemaScope. It wasn't necessarily a wider screen. I want to say it was either a taller image or the film moved to the projector vertically. Correct me in the comments because I'm not 100% on it, but it was a thing I used to see at the beginning of the old Martin and Lewis movies and a lot of older movies. I recently saw a print of To Catch a Thief that was a VistaVision print, and it's just cool. I love the old film formats and the old ballyhoo and hucksterism and gimmicks and all that. And HD Blu-ray presentation, that is an October 17th release. And then lastly, for the things that have nothing interesting to see visually on the package, we have Witness. This is the UHD. Look at the difference. This is the UHD. That's the Blu-ray, see? Because it says UHD right there. Witness is a movie that I didn't see at the drive-in as a kid. I'll get into this, I'm sure, when I do the review, but Witness, 1985, my best friend's parents wanted to go see the movie Summer Rental with John Candy at the drive-in, my drive-in, Claremont Drive-In in Claremont, New Hampshire, which is long gone in the parking lot now. And they wanted to see Summer Rental. I wanted to go see Summer Rental. I went with them to see Summer Rental. They had already gone to see Witness earlier, either at the indoor theater next door or at the drive-in, and right when Witness started, they left. And I've always been a person who's like, but at the drive-in you get 2 movies, why wouldn't you stay? But they were the adults. I was 11 at the time and was in no position to walk home or drive. So this is 2 releases of this. We have the Witness Limited Edition Blu-ray and the Witness 4K Ultra HD. What I'll do when I review is I'll look at both of these and I'll tell you what I think between the difference in the image quality, and I'll tell you if there's any extras difference between the two. I don't think there are usually, if they'll put the same extras on both. So this stars Harrison Ford, by the way. After witnessing a brutal murder, young Amish boy Samuel, who is portrayed by Lucas Haas, and his mother Rachel, portrayed by Kelly McGillis, seek protection from police officer John Book, Harrison Ford. So Harrison Ford basically goes undercover into Amish country to try to protect these people and hunt down a killer. And it was directed by, does this say? You think I would know. Let's just say I'm sick, and if it comes up in the notes, we'll find out together, shall we? I want to say Peter Weir, but that's probably wrong. Fold-out double-sided poster featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Tommy Pocket. That's a great name. 6 double-sided collector's postcards. Limited edition packaging with reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Tommy Pocket. Sorry, Tommy. Limited edition 60-page perfect bound book. Wow. Illustrated by Tommy Pocket, featuring new writing on the film by Dennis Kapchik, Martin Contiero, and John Harrison and Amanda Reyes. Theatrical trailer image gallery deleted scene from the network TV version of the film. That's cool. In my day, a lot of times you'd watch a movie on TV, and if you'd seen it in the theater, there'd be all this stuff that wasn't in the movie when you saw it in the theater. And it was often because they would have to take things out that couldn't be broadcast on TV, and they would substitute it with footage to pad out the running time, or they would try to be padding out the running time. And there's a few movies that still, I don't know if you can get a legitimate copy of the TV versions of them. Occasionally, if it's a popular enough film, they'll do that, like with Superman the movie or Halloween or something like that. But Blazing Saddles was another one that had a lot of original stuff that wasn't in the videotape. Excuse me, 2 vintage EPK featurettes, that's electronic press kit, 2 vintage promos, conversation with Peter Weir, archival interview with the film's director, so it was Peter Weir. Between Two Worlds, a 5-part archival documentary on the making of the film featuring interviews with Harrison Ford, Kelly McGillis, Peter Weir, John Seal, producer Edward S. Feldman, and actors Lucas Haas, Patty Lupone, and Viggo Mortensen. Oh, I forgot he was in that. I didn't forget. He wasn't a known quantity when I originally saw this. Brand new video interview with cinematographer John Seal. Brand new visual essay on the film's performances by film journalist Stacey Lane Wilson. Vintage 1985 interview in which Harrison Ford discusses Witness with critic Bobby Wygant. Okay, here's a little. This is running long, but I don't care. I'm sick. Join me. If you want to have some fun, if you love movies like I love movies, go to YouTube, and look up Bobby Wygant. That's Bobbiewygant. She was a Dallas, I want to say. She was a Texas TV reviewer of film. And I think she was at a big enough station that she was sent to all the press junkets. Press junket is where they invite all of the press to interview the stars and sometimes crew of an upcoming film or creatives. And basically the star or the crew sit in one chair and every interviewer gets 5 or 10 minutes to do whatever they're going to do, and they leave, and it's the same camera setups and all that. The Bobby Wygant Archive, Bobbiewygant. It goes back to the 60s. It's from the 60s to the 2000s, and it's the raw, uncut interviews she did with everybody you can imagine. So if you like Die Hard, there's like 8 interviews she does with everybody, and you get the original color bars and the slate and them doing a little small talk before they start, and it's very, very cool. So it's neat that that Arrow has decided to tap into that, because it's a wealth of vintage, of its day information. And then I figure out where I was. Optional 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Brand new audio commentary by film historian Jarrett Gahan. 4K 2160p Ultra HD Blu-ray presentation in Dolby Vision HDR10. So in Dolby Vision HDR10 compatible. Original lossless 2.0 stereo. And that is a release on the 31st. Funny enough, that's a Halloween release, October 31st. And it looks to my quick eye that the Blu-ray version has the same extras. So that's all that I have. This ran super long. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. Sorry about the stuffiness and the incoherence, but maybe it made it more fun. I am Mark, and I will see you. Oh yeah, check at the bottom again. I say it multiple times. It's not like anybody tunes in part way in these things. If you made it this far, thank you very much. But I will remind you that if you look at the description under this video, there are buying links for all these that go to Amazon. They will also give you the full specs on what is on these and what the release dates are. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you once again next time there is anything to talk about that is coming soon.